Yes, hello everyone. Welcome back to another session on introducing literature, BA core paper for the first semester, BA English core paper for the first semester. Okay, so in this particular video, we are going to discuss about the four different modules, that are there in the textbook. I am going to handle the two last modules, like the third module and the fourth module. Okay, and Miss Dali, she'll be dealing with the first module and the second module. But I want you to understand what exactly we are going to study in this particular semester. Clear with that? So that is what I'm going to do in this video. So the first thing, the first module that you have to study is language and its literary nuances. Language and its literary nuances. So basically, what exactly that is going to tell you? That is in fact giving us a kind of an insight, okay, giving us a kind of an impression that language has got its own nuances. Clear with that? It is not something that is monolithic, that cannot be altered. ആർക്കും ഒന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റാത്ത, ഇങ്ങനെ ഒന്നും തൊടാൻ പറ്റാത്തൊരു സംഭവമല്ല എന്ത് ലിറ്ററേച്ചറും ലാംഗ്വേജും എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. You can play with language, and every word that you add and you delete, from a sentence, or yes, when you read a book, okay, or everything that you see in the book has got a politics in the sense, and it has got different layers of meaning in that. Okay, so that is why you will be studying about syntax, you will be studying about the poetic means, the different possible explanations that can be given. Clear with that? So all these things you are going to study in this particular module. Clear with that? So when you get a piece of work, it is not the only the there is only one way, there is only one way of looking at it, is like an absolutely wrong notion. Clear with that? You can have infinite number of interpretations to any work on earth. Clear with that? Because language has got its own nuances, and the cultural background, the historical background, the psychological aspects, then and various other things, the milieu, all these things will of the writer will definitely get reflected in any work of art for that matter. Clear with that? So that is why you are in this first module, you are getting introduced to all these nuances. What are the different possible areas in which a writer can work on? Clear with that? Even if the writer is not bothered about it, even if the writer is not intended to say all those things, not working on all those areas, as a reader you will get to know that yes, different interpretations are possible. ഏതൊക്കെ ഏരിയാസിൽ വായിച്ചാലും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേറെ പല ലേയേഴ്സ് മീനിങ്ങുകൾ കിട്ടും എന്നുള്ളതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വാട്ട് വി ആക്ച്വലി ഗെറ്റ് ഫ്രം ദിസ് മോഡ്യൂൾ. ക്ലിയർ വിത്ത് ദാറ്റ്? ഓക്കെ. Now the second module is polyphony in text. Polyphony means many voices. You're getting it? So it is not just about the voice of the author that is there in the text. Clear with that? So it is not just the author who is speaking. There is a famous book by Roland Barthes, in fact an article by Roland Barthes, that is author is dead. One of his famous concept is author is dead. Once a person he wrote the work, it's over. The rest is in fact upon, it depends upon how the readers interpret the text. Clear with that? To put it very simple, and I don't want to enter into that. I just want to bring that idea into your mind. That's the only thing that I'm doing right now, that I'm not going to deal with the module. Clear with that? So what I'm telling you is, like, there are different voices that are there in any work of literature. Clear with that? It is not just the author who is speaking. So that is why the module is titled Polyphony. Polyphony means different voices are there in the text. Clear with that? Yes. Now, the third module, which I am going to deal with, it is about literature and ideology. It's a wonderful chapter. Okay. So why, in module, why exactly is like, everything is an ideology. Clear with that? In every single interaction that is there around us, there reflects an ideology. Okay, ideology of the institution, ideology of the person, ideology of my background, or I can say ideology of the society that I am part of, or ideology of my religion, ideology of the political structure, or the political context into which I am born into. Every single thing is in fact getting reflected in what exactly I am saying. Clear with that? So likewise, when you read a work of literature, you can see what? You can see the reflection of ideology. So literature is basically what? Ideology. Ideology of whom? Ideology of not just the author. You're getting it? So ideology of not just the author, but his social and cultural and political background. All these things are getting reflected in his works. Clear with that? So that is what we are going to see in detail. How exactly you can identify the elements of ideology. That is what we are going to see in module 3. And module 4, I should say, it's like one of the interesting sessions that you're going to see. Like it is about literature and the subaltern are those set of people, you can say, they are not represented, or you can say they are marginalized. Okay, so it is about their voice. How exactly certain set of people, they are marginalized from the mainstream, and how can you identify their voices in literature. That is what we are going to see in module 4. It's a wonderful chapter. Like when you read Ramayana, it is not just about the story of Raman and Sita, or Rama and Sita. It is also the story of you can say Hanuman, you can say various other characters who actually helped Rama out. They also have a story. They were like marginalized from the mainstream. Clear with that? So there is a kind of a thrust on certain characters, certain elitist characters, or you can say certain powerful characters, or certain characters which has got some power. Clear with that? So there is a thrust on them, and rest are marginalized to the corners. And these marginalized group include you can say women, you can say Dalits, you can say those people who suffer racism, blacks, or any other ethnicity, you're getting it, for that matter, who are not part of the mainstream. Then you have queer, okay, you have LGBTs, then you have transgenders, all these things, they all belong to the marginalized group. So how exactly you can read them in literature? That is what we are going to see in the 4th module. I think I am clear by now. Okay, so these are the 4 different ways in which we are going to look into literature. So once you're clear with it, literature is pretty more easy for us to understand. You're getting it? It is easy for us to understand what exactly that are happening around us. Okay, so that is why I think they have introduced such it's not difficult, of course, such different kind of an approach to literature, maybe for the first time in Calicut University. So, and as I've told you in my previous video, this is more an interactive kind of a textbook. You have to read many things. Then only we can have a discussion on that. Also, what will be like more my mode of teaching, I'll explain to you the concept, then I'll ask you to read. So once you read it, then then we'll have a discussion about it. So I think that's the best way in which we can take on this paper. So that's it. So these are the 4 modules, and I'll be dealing with the 3rd and the 4th module. Okay. So we'll meet in another video. Till then, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you and God bless.